Good morning. Hi, Devika. How are you?
Morning, Dr. Bhaskar. I'm very well, thank you. And how are you doing?
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. Wish you the same and wish you a very happy Independence Day too.
Oh, yes. Happy Independence Day.
Happy Independence.
Uh, it's a good day. Lots of good things happen today.
It is. It's a very special day for me and for our partners. Exactly a year since we got our license. So I would call it our anniversary. And it's
Ah,
a very special moment.
sounds good. So let's have a bit of a chat about this. So tell me, Devika, obviously you were in the corporate world before you decided to start off your journey to become a CEO and set up your own. So tell the viewers about your corporate journey. What did you go through? How did you get into the corporate world? Please.
Thanks. The journey, I would say, just like I said, being a year old. So um, I would just put it in three words. It's been quite a exciting one, very enriching. Though I worked for 15 years in corporate world, when you set up your own firm and this entrepreneurial journey, I would say has been very empowering.
Fantastic. And you spent some time in dealing with family offices and structures for a long time. Um, Give me some thoughts about that. Well, what all did you do?
So I'm a human rights lawyer, qualified human rights lawyer who landed up in the Middle East, and I was thrown, I would say, into the offshore structuring world. So I learned it the hard way, and I'm very happy I did because it gave me a huge opportunity to work with families, family offices across geography. And Dubai being a melting point I would say I was lucky to have an opportunity to work across uh, nationalities, across asset classes and families who had as many complexities as you could think of. So it's been quite a learning. And as you are aware, and you of all people who has been a regulator himself would agree that the regulatory framework around structuring, taxation, substance requirements has been fastly evolving. So we managed to, and I've personally managed to keep myself abreast and updated. So it's been a quite an exciting journey.
Sounds good. So most of your friends and colleagues would have stuck with the corporate journey, but you decided to strike out on your own. Um, what what made you think about setting up your own?
Well, yeah, it was quite a huge leap, I would say, and a giant step, a stride. The reason why I decided to venture out on my own, having worked with multinational trust companies and family offices, both in India as well as the Middle East, I realized that there was an area or an opportunity where families and family offices in a particular segment, let's call it the mezzanine or the mid segment, were struggling to find a solution with one provider. Bigger the corporate, larger the size, the bigger the challenges of onboarding and catering to clients and their requirements. And our endeavor and what we are striving for in DR partners is to provide a platform wherein we can handhold families and corporates, and especially private clients who have requirements across various stages of their circle, both with their personal and business wealth. And we're trying to provide them this platform to ensure that they have the robust and the most bespoke solutions that we can offer across legal, corporate, and governance. That's the whole idea.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a great opportunity that I had found out, and we tried to carve out a niche to cater to the segment.
Okay. So obviously, it wouldn't be an easy decision to jump into this. At the risk of asking a personal question, walk us through both sides of the coin, the fears that you had and of course, what led you to be confident that you personally could make it?
Course quite scared, at the honest, letting go of your monthly salary, uh, a well-respected job, the cushion and the comfort that comes with it was, of course, very scary. However, there was the strong belief and a passion for what I do, which made me believe that yes, if there is an opportunity with dedication, perseverance, we would be able to succeed. And when I say we, I know I keep referring to we, and what I mean is myself and the team, which is, of course, a very small team currently. But the idea is, and the vision was to succeed in what we do by providing quality service. So while it was scary at the onset, a year down the lane, we were excited and happy.
Okay. So walk us through what did you do to prepare to launch your baby, and how did you prepare for it?
Yes, the baby. It is actually the baby I'm nurturing. Initially, the preparations were in different fronts. Firstly, from the personal front, to be able to decide to come out of the comfort zone. That
Hmm.
required, I think that was the most difficult part. And then, of course, we did our financial planning, worked out the first year, 2 years, 3 years, never done a financial model. So it was a huge learning for me to work out different Excel sheets, complexities, to look at contingency and factor in those aspects. But that was a financial side. And the second was, of course, to create a personal liquidity because we're still bootstrapped. And we I had to make this conscious effort to see as to how things would fall in and what my plan B with should something not happen. But luckily, fingers crossed, things have been pretty good in the our partners.
So tell me about the high points, and let's just say the wobbly points of the last 1 year.
High points have been several. From the time a client signs up and we get paid, to me rolling out an offer letter, to getting invited to address one of the universities in Abu Dhabi to address the rising generation or their Z generation, the way they call themselves, who were interested in entrepreneurship. All of those were high points. Wobbly, I wouldn't say wobbly, but yes, there have been instances where we somehow felt that we were drowning because of the work and skeletal resources that we had. So it's been a roller coaster, but I think we're getting to a steady phase right now.
It's not easy. It is definitely not easy, especially when, as you said, in a bootstrapped startup, the wobbles assume ginormous, monstrous proportions. Very, very. But again, startup founders and CEOs, they need to get up in the morning and drive themselves. They don't have a boss uh, to sort of poke and prod and the fear of. So it's almost internally driven. So what drives you? What makes you get up in the morning and go and hit the laptop or go and meet people? Tell me.
I think it's like you said, it's a baby and it's the motherly instinct to, or the desire to nurture, to be there for the baby to grow and see it grow. So I think the most, and it comes naturally to you when, because every day which that we wake up to is a new day. Nothing is monotonous. It's newer challenges, newer frustrations, newer hurdles to deal with. So there's nothing monotonous about this job, which keeps us on our toes. And as a startup and as a full-fledged corporate advisory firm, we work on very short deadlines and the deliverables are required. It's fast paced. So the momentum is such that we just don't get time to relax or be slacked, and we don't even realize. So my team keeps telling me, didn't realize how the week went by. And I'm like, yes, so did I. So it's a fast-paced environment, the challenges which gets thrown at us. And luckily, I would say we've managed to work with families and family offices and corporates who've been very, very supportive, and the client engagements are very fulfilling. So I think there are several factors which makes it very natural for me. And I've always been passionate about structuring. So every time we have a challenge at hand wherein a family requires a solution, we're all excited and we deep dive to come up with a solution. I think that's what keeps us going, and me especially.
This is obviously something that's going to be an interesting question. Before this, you were only responsible for yourself, but as you said, you now have got a small team. You've started to hire people, and it's an interesting time for you. What's your management style? Well, what kind of people are you looking for? Because you're obviously building up your firm.
So currently, the team comprises of lawyers, qualified lawyers, but nobody from the industry. So what I've realized is training was the most important, and there's huge emphasis around it. Yes, there are times when I feel I'm not there for the team, so there's a conscious effort to carve out time to be able to spend time with them. So a lot of emphasis on training. It's on job, where whatever materials could be provided. So it's a combination. That's the first, I would say. The second is with regards to the way I look at a team, and I personally like to be accountable for what I do. So there's quite a lot of emphasis and a lot of freedom given to the team to be able to work, deliver, produce results, make mistakes, and then be accountable so that they know that this is what needs to be done, at least going forward. So for me, it's a combination and an emphasis around training, empowering them, and developing a culture of accountability.
Good. So talking about that, obviously, you now have got a strong client base, and you are on constant call. Retainers, they keep on bothering you with questions, and you are the trusted advisor. Some thoughts from you on what's your way of looking at managing these family offices and keep that relationship going?
I think the emphasis, like I said, for us, the fundamental principle of DR Partners was to cater to clients wherein we've carved out the niche, we identified the opportunities, and our success mantra has been customer satisfaction. Quite a lot of emphasis on ensuring the customer journey is as the best as possible. And the loyal customers that we have currently, because of their customer experience, have managed to refer quite a lot of clients. So if I was to think about it, for me, I would say the references from clients is a clear indication of the fact that we're doing things the right way and they're happy. Because if one was to look at, I have not aggressively gone out. We don't have a marketing team or a salesperson, or BD people who are out in the market scouting deals. However, our existing clients have been feeding work, which is, I think, our success mantra. Would have loved to, and we've been thinking about some goodies and some marketing giveaways for our clients. Unfortunately, we're still bootstrapped, so we have to make a conscious call as to what is the leakage is. So we try and emphasize it on customer satisfaction and our service levels vis-a-vis anything which is more materialistic and tangible.
I think that is something that people will appreciate. At the end of the day, the advice, the independent advice, and fast execution. Yeah, that's fine.
I think so too, because while we were looking at while we were concluding and one planning to celebrate our first anniversary, we did manage to reach out to some of our clients to get testimonials. That's never something that we had done in the past working for multinationals, because the brand existed, and for me it's very close to my heart to hear what my clients have had to say, and it's been quite touching and fulfilling, I would say, to hear some great feedbacks and testimonials.
Very good. Very good. Tell us about your plans for next year. More of the same or something interesting that you're planning to do?
It would be a mix. Same, because what has worked for us in the last couple of months is our success around legacy structures, especially in and around UAE, families with the influx of private clients and private wealth into the country. There's a huge demand for asset consolidation, restructuring of personal and business wealth, a lot of emphasis on governance. So our idea is to focus on those three core areas, which is the legacy planning, governance, and family office advisory. What we may also venture out, which we have started off but have been soft pedaling, is real estate. Huge demand for real estate in the region, and family offices looking at both residential as well as commercial real estate. So we do intend to go out, and rather than having a reactive approach, a proactive approach where we will be able to showcase high-end deals and larger transactions to our clients, especially private clients and family offices. So that's what the focus looks like for the next year.
Good. Okay. I guess finally, I'd like to ask you a bit of a difficult question.
Sure. That's
women
true.
obviously,
So it has to be difficult. I don't expect
of
it
course.
to be easy. Yes, please.
So women have it tough in the corporate world, and especially when you're starting to talk about the family business, family wealth side, it becomes tougher. And you then decided to add the third layer of difficulty and complexity by trying to run your own firm. So women in the corporate business, in the family office, family wealth, family business side, and leading their own firm. So not content with just one problem, you decided to add layer two more to it. And obviously, I can't ever understand or appreciate what women CEOs in the family sector go through. But talk to me about the challenges that you have faced, and what did you do? And more importantly, what would you say to other women who are possibly thinking about making a career in this industry, or even working in the UAE, or wanting to set up their own firms?
Firstly, I understand, and I'm not very happy about the marginal representation women have in the financial sector or industry. However, to say that it's a challenge, I think an entrepreneur's journey on life itself is a challenge. And yes, women face a bit more further hurdles, because I think we as women are a bit harsh on ourselves. We self-doubt. We're not as confident as the other gender. There's always an aspiration and a constant desire to be a perfectionist. Whatever you do, there's always, so we keep pushing ourselves. And in this entire journey, and maybe I'm speaking for myself, I feel that what we do is just not enough, and there needs to be more, which can lead to a burnout, and which can lead to a sense of lack of satisfaction or fulfillment, which I think is one of the biggest challenge. Risk-taking capabilities, I think, compared to, with all due respect to men, and all due respect to women, I think our risk-taking capabilities are a bit lesser. We keep pondering over what needs to be done, all the consequences. And we've had this discussion between the two of us, wherein you just say that, listen, Devika, you get to think about it. These are the aspects, and you've always helped me as a mentor. Sure. I think the biggest challenges are within ourselves more than external, which needs to be overcome, and that's a constant effort. So every day, when, like you said, somewhere during the conversation, what excites me to start off the day and be a go-getter. I think one of the conscious elements and the manifestations that I do on a day-in basis is to push myself to overcome those fears, and which I think has helped. To answer the second part of your question, what should be the advice? I think I personally believe that if one has the inner calling and wants to be an entrepreneur, one should go be that go-getter, take the leap of faith, go ahead. It's not possible to get all the pieces of the puzzle right. It's a journey, and you would evolve, and one would be able to put the pieces together. So I personally believe that one has to just deep dive and should be able to figure out. And I strongly believe UAE is the best market for both, and especially women, the ease of doing business, the opportunities out there. And as personally, as a lawyer from India, I've come in, the requirements to be able to come in and establish your practice is very minimalistic compared to the other parts of the world, which is a great opportunity, which I think all of us should try and utilize to the fullest.
Okay. Great. I think we have talked on quite a lot. Let me just close by saying we're all very happy. I'm proud of what you and the team has achieved. Congratulations again, and I hope you have a scintillating and brilliant next year.
Thank you so much. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank you, Dr. Bhaskar, to agreeing to be on the board as an advisor, as a mentor. It's been a great journey, and you've really helped us get and you've helped me especially and the team to get back on track whenever we've gone astray. So thank you so much. It means a lot. Much appreciated.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.